Today I'm taking the Focus Jam Squared 6.8 e-bike for a spin. The bike was a demo from Sydney Electric Bikes and has 150mm of travel and trail-friendly geometry. It's got a Bosch power unit, and this is the mid-tier model in the lineup with a Fox 34 fork and Shimano drivetrain and brakes. It weighs 24 kilos, which is about average for an e-bike with a full-size battery. And it costs just over $8,000 retail, which is also pretty good value for an e-bike. I had the bike for 2 days and I got 2 big rides in. Let's see how it got on, starting at Mill Creek with me then Ali. Here in Oz, e-bikes have a 25km/h speed limit. Above that, the motor cuts out and gives no assistance. This limit is annoyingly low for most trail riding, and I really wish we got the extra 7km that North American riders enjoy.
Oh, a little bit of hard work. So you're on the limiter the whole way down there. So I know what you really want to know is, how does it whip? Pretty good actually. Very good actually. That's fun down there.
One of the coolest things about e-bikes is how many repeat laps you can get in if you've got a trail that you can session. On Terps I was able to do the return climb in about 3 minutes, then drop straight in because I wasn't tired. It's an awesome way to get bulk laps in and work on things like your jumping.
I just pull up here. So even though it feels plush, it might not be using all its travel. Oh no, we're using all its travel. I wonder if it's got a trail. Oh, it's got a middle mode. Let's go for that for a little bit. Oh, limiter. It's getting a bit too confident in the loose conditions. I tell you what, I should have ridden Scribbly on an e-bike earlier.
And by that I mean that the flat sections of trail, and even some mild climbs, are actually fun.
Drift all.
It's a different kind of flow that you just don't get on a normal bike.
Ah no, missed the inside. Terrible line. It's a pretty easy bike to get on with. All the heavyweight e-bikes, like the ones 24 kilos, 25 kilos that I've ridden, have really felt like a bit of a bus, and I just expected that's what they all felt like. But this guy's got a very short chainstay. It makes it feel way more chuckable despite the weight. I had basically written off the heavier e-bikes for trail riding, and now I'm going to have to reconsider them. And you get the range of a full e-bike. So that's where those lighter weight bikes like the Levo SL, the Orbea Rise, Canevo, the new Canevo SL, that's kind of where they fall down. Let's do Blackhawk. Gonna need a different gear. Oh, a little with the rear then. See how it manuals? It really needs to manual that. Oh, scaly boy. I think it's fair to say that I'm enjoying this bike a bit more than I thought I would. It's more versatile than I thought it would be. As in, like at both ends of the spectrum, it bombs down harder than I thought it would without feeling like I'm going to go over the bars. And then on the trail, the weight's not horrendous. You can pop it and it's just generally sort of fun on the flowy single track. So I don't know if it's necessarily a downside of e-bikes, but I've only been riding for 54 minutes and I'm out of trails.
So I didn't show every track, but that was all of Mill Creek, including 5 laps of Terps in an hour. After that, I decided to go and explore the moto tracks in the surrounding bush, and this is another setting where an e-bike made so much sense. I could cover a lot of ground quickly, and the motor helped make light work of the rutted out climbs and big sand pits that characterise these trails. The whole package just kind of worked on these tracks. Even the wide 2.6 inch tyres hooked up well in the loose conditions.
A bit more rutted than last time I rode it.
For day 2, I wanted to see what kind of range I could get with some bigger climbs in the mix, and see how the bike handled more demanding trails.
Check moving. Hey, fun. Double. Oh, should have opened that up. Ladder. Get rad. Oh, that might have been the beeline. Right, so I've been out for nearly 13 Ks. A couple of big climbs in there, and I've used a quarter of the battery. Probably on for about 45 Ks. That's running it almost exclusively in EMTB mode, which is not as powerful as turbo, but more than enough power on the trail, and actually has a pretty nice feel to it. If you're pedaling gently, it'll just come in gently, while if you're putting a lot of power down, it gives you a lot of assistance. See how it goes. Tech climbing, I already know it goes pretty good from yesterday. And someone asked what e-bikes are like on the climbs. Just responded to them. What climbs?
Someone also asked how fast the Gem e-bike will be compared to my other bikes, so I had to run at the same track that I did my time testing with them on.
what that noise was.
I've heard a saying about riding heavy e-bikes on steep tracks that it feels like the back of the bike is trying to overtake the front. And that's what riding this bike on steeper sections feels like. It's as if the mass of the bike wants to carry the bike down the hill from the bottom bracket. And while it's something I'm sure you get used to in time, it is a bit unnerving at first. Into the finish, and it was a bit slower than my other bikes. I've had plenty of time on these bikes and they're built and set up how I want them, so it's not really surprising.
So I'm about to hit the 50% battery mark, 22.2k. So yeah, like right on that 45k, I'd say, for big climbs without trying to be economical. I will say, even though the climbs are over quicker, they're more boring.
So that's a wrap from my time on the Focus Jam Squared, an e-bike that changed my opinion about the full power options. I really like the Bosch motor and it's my new favourite power unit, and I also enjoyed the bike's playful nature. Improvements that I would like to see would be the inclusion of a stiffer Fox 36 on all models.
Sorry, 34s.
And I think this bike could also be a full degree slacker without hurting any of its trail manners. Thanks to Jake and Andy and the team at Sydney Electric Bikes for the demo, and thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to give that like button a boot before you click out, and I'll see you again soon.
A lot of people probably see a bike like this and wonder, how does it handle a 3 meter high vertical wall into a big compression? Just fine. Lomer.